Yo, what is good? What is good, everyone? My name is Josh, aka JWO. Today, we're talking about this is like one of my favorite topics, like being like how to stop being nervous around women, because I used to be nervous when talking to attractive girls and things like that. So let's get to it.
You're out at dinner with a couple of friends. The vibes are good, conversation's flowing. You look across the restaurant, you see this woman. She's absolutely gorgeous, exactly your type. Your heart starts racing, your hands get sweaty. You feel your confidence in real time go from outer space, plummet into the center of the earth. You're scared. What do? Stay here in your little town, or go and speak with the potential beautiful, loving mother of your children? What do you do? As a man who's 27 years old, I've literally talked to a couple thousand women in my time. Someone who's had the worst possible conversations that you could ever imagine, and also some conversations that flowed smooth like butter on a water slide. I don't know. Nervousness has a huge impact on your ability to conversate and communicate with women. So today I'm going to share with you the only three things that you need to know about how to melt nervousness around women. Nervousness or anxiety or fear, nervousness is a low level fear. It's this system in place by strategic design. It's meant to protect your two primary functions: survival and reproduction. It's an evolutionary trait, right? If you're a caveman and you run into a saber-toothed tiger, your heart starts pounding, your flight or flight mode starts reacting. It's like your body warning you, you need to make a decision. You need to get the hell out of here, or you need to freeze and play dead, right? Or another example, at the beginning of civilization, everybody lives in small villages. If there's only two women in your village, then you're going to have some nervousness, because if you fumble the bag with one of them, then your reproductive privileges go to literal zero, or they're cut in half.
Yeah, yeah. I've been nervous around, especially very attractive girls and things like that, and as of what I as of what I explained, thinking throughout my other videos, because I used to be nervous around girls, things like that, but I do my best to approach time to time, and sometimes it does not work the way that I was expected to happen, right? Of course, they're not my type. Of course, I bet they will say ugly. I bet they will say that 1000% to their friends and things like that. I can guarantee that right now. But me personally, I don't care. I did my best to approach. It is what it is. Definitely do not want to know her again, and I want her to forget about me, because you know what I mean. Like, I don't want me knowing this person, right? But yeah, man. I know I normally like do not want to get to know them if they were fake people like that, right? You gotta be cautious about that too.
Got to go talk to the other girl and shoot your shot with her. So your body reacts accordingly. It warns you, hey, you got to be careful going into this. You could lose your whole rights to reproduction in your lifetime. You may only see two or three other women in your whole life. So you got to act accordingly, right? So you really got to work hard to unlearn this scarcity mindset. And that's number one. You got to rewire your brain. Rewire your brain to no longer fear losing, because there's actually unlimited women at this point in time. There's actually way more women than men. So if you lose one, then it's really not a big deal. You can always go find another woman. So you got to try to rewire your
Yeah. Of course, find out women, obviously, right? But like, of course, I have a type in a girl, but of course, they don't want me, right? Does that make sense? It's not like me not wanting anybody. It's my type, but doesn't want me. Does that make sense? Huge difference out here.
remind yourself and teach yourself that when you're talking to a woman, it can only add to my life. It can only add, right? You are no longer in a time where if you mess up, you lose a girl's interest, that you have totally ruined your chances of starting a family. The white picket fence, the dog, the cat, all that bullshit, right? In today's day and age, you could fumble the bag with 1,000 women and still be just fine. So you got to rewire your mind. And I know what you're thinking. I still have this fear. I can't help it. And it's true. I mean, it's wired within you. It's an evolutionary trait. And I want you to listen very closely, because I'm going to reveal to you one of the biggest secrets to life. If you have anxiety, you struggle with nervousness, with fear, with self-doubt, whatever it is, Write this down. This is going to be a game changer. So the lesson here, the secret is action.
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC next to your business name? Say hello to Taylor Brands.
Dissolves fear. Action dissolves fear, no matter what it is. You may think that anxiety and nervousness comes from inaction or failing at things. No, it's actually quite the opposite. Anxiety and fear comes from inaction, from sitting around thinking about what could happen, what could go wrong. You know, you have a test coming up, you're thinking about, oh God, am I going to fail this shit? Did I not study hard enough? Well, go study, and you'll feel the anxiety dissolve in real time. If you're looking at a woman across the restaurant, you're thinking, oh God, what happens if she rejects me? What happens if she makes me look like a fool? What happens if I say
Yeah, it used to happen like that, like me thinking about that, like, oh, she's gonna reject me, all that, and she would say I'm ugly, blah blah blah, all that crazy stuff, right? Trust me, I've been there. Obviously, of course, they don't say ugly, right? They say a similar word, but of course I know what they're trying to say, right? Trust me, I know it right away. If I ever approach a girl, things like that, and they ever say something like, oh, and then of course if they, oh yeah, when I went on a date with this girl, I mean, especially friends on me, blah blah, she will regret it in no time. I'm an entrepreneur, so whoever doesn't know me, I'm an entrepreneur, right? Sometimes they regret it, especially being a good entrepreneur like that. They, like, you know what I mean, text back, blah blah blah. Of course, I don't even know her, and I don't even know her anymore. But I block her immediately. That my boundaries and standards has increased ever since. So I already know what I'm dealing with, things like that. So yeah, good stuff, huh?
think stupid? Well, shut the hell up, go talk to her and find out. And even if it does, that anxiety will dissipate and you'll be left with embarrassment. I'd rather be embarrassed about what happened than anxiety and regret about what could have happened, right? So you need to take a deep breath, try to calm your nerves, and then go and get the words out. Or if you know you have an exam coming up, go open the book, put it into action. Action dissolves fear in any realm of human endeavor. Write it down. Let me ask you, when you go talk to women, do you ever feel like you're sort of in a job interview? You're trying to qualify yourself. You're trying to prove yourself, saying the things that you've succeeded in, trying to kind of impress her a little bit, talking about you know, maybe your money or your physique or some things that you've done for other people. Who knows, right? And then let me ask, how well did that go for you? Probably not well. If it's a transactional interview, yeah, maybe it worked out a little bit, but we got to change that effective immediately. And that's why my tip number 2 is to make it human. Humanize your interactions with women. This isn't a transactional thing. I don't care what Fresh and Fit and you know, whatever podcasts have to say about this. You're going to find a woman for a loving union, someone to have your back. This isn't some bullshit like I need to prove my status and my worth to her so that I can get this young 19-year-old girl because that's her value, right? All that bullshit. No, go into it with the mindset of we are just two adults doing what humans do. Humans are put on this earth to communicate, to survive, to reproduce, to see if you guys are potentially meant for each other. And you are put on this earth to see if you guys could potentially gel and be a cohesive union. So instead of when you're talking to a woman, thinking of all the ways that you can qualify yourself, thinking of ways you can impress her, thinking of trying to make the best impression possible. Of course, that should be in the back of your mind. You want to come off as a capable and professional man, but you don't want to be sitting there trying to prove all your accolades, prove your worth to her. So instead, have the mindset of, I am a man and I'm supposed to be here talking to this woman, right? This is what God intended, and this is the way things are supposed to be. So whatever is happening right now is completely natural. A lot of men I see.
Yeah, I do want. Yeah, I just keep it natural, especially on the dates. Just keep it natural. I mean, well, hold on. I think I said wrong tone. Yeah, of course, ask on the first date, things like that. Take on first date. Of course, not a fancy restaurant. You know what I mean? Just keep it low key. And of course, when I do my best to approach girls, keep it natural, obviously. But I mean, natural for me, I think for me is it's just normally not approach, but they come to me. That's like for me natural. if they approach me, that's like I'm glad she approached me, things like that. I mean, but of course I have a type, right? That's a different story too, you know. But yeah.
Go into these situations with complete and utter self-doubt in themselves. They feel like it's unnatural. I'm not supposed to be here. This woman is way out of my league. I'm an imposter. I'm not qualified to be talking to this woman.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying to myself a lot when I be seeing attractive girls, you know, like me being like she being out of yeah, yeah, it's basically she out of yeah, basically out of a league, things like that. Like I'm not enough for her, you know. Not qualified to date her because she wants money. Of course, I assume it, but doesn't mean she said it, right? But like sometimes I assume that based on the first impression. Always the first impression always counts, right? But there's always the money thing. Like, oh yeah, no, I can definitely tell she uses people for money. But of course, that's not mean it's true for her, right? It's just me. I assume things, right? That's just me, especially if I'm trying to approach, you know.
No, you don't know that. You're already disqualifying yourself before you even try. And
Yeah, and I made that mistake before, and of course that might, and I may have more mistakes than that because sometimes I like assume things as well. That's why, yeah, and that's true. Like I disqualify myself with a lot of potential girls, especially attractive ones too. But yeah, sometimes I can be wrong, you know. Of course, I'm not perfect with dating, but like, it's just the crazy part is when they make fun of you, they don't even know you. I don't even know them either. That's just the funny part. It's just me getting to know her, of course, being friends first, obviously, with the date. But of course, I don't mind taking her out as well, you know.
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're setting yourself up for failure. It's like going to sleep thinking that you're not going to be able to sleep. What's going to happen? You're probably going to be sitting there staring at the ceiling, right? For hours. Undoubtedly, the third and final and most valuable tip that I'll be telling to you is completely unavoidable. There's no way around this last one. And it is repetition. How many of you guys work in sales? You have to call people up on the phone and try to convince them of something you're selling, right? It's a very tough business. And I'm guessing on your first call, you're sitting there shitting yourself. You're afraid of them calling you out or making you look stupid or saying something hurtful. But by the 100th call, you don't give a shit. You're ready to take on anything and anyone, right? Because over time, you iron out the details. You become more competent in yourself. You become aware of how to handle certain things, how to handle some pushback. What if they question my product? What if they question my genuineness? Authenticity, I guess, is probably a better word. And you become equipped to think of something to say. What if she seems disinterested? What do I do? Well, over time, you practice, you learn little by little.
Yeah, of course, you learn little by little. Of course, if she doesn't like me, that's fine. I walk away. Of course, talk to a different girl. Of course, if she say, "Oh, not interested," you get out of here. You ugly as shit. Of course, I just get out of here immediately. You know what I mean? It's just all those things I already know. Trust me, I know right away how how they react. I know right away, of course, if she's interested. She's not interested, right? I know right away, and I just walk away. And of course, if she's like trying to what's it called, wait, like what I don't know if it's rage bait or you know they pretend they're being sarcastic about things. Oh yeah, I know a lot about sarcastic. Like oh what's up, tell me. And of course, if I like side hug things like that, but like if she moves back, that's like a red flag, and that's definitely she's not interested at all in me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.